Hello friends, welcome to our fourth chapter of Architectural Visualization course. I am Oğuz. Today, we will be jumpstarting our ArchViz animation project. First, we will import our pre-made 3D model to Unreal Engine, start creating new level and assign our model's materials. On the road, I will be giving the tips and tricks while explaining every move I do. This chapter will be an easy one if you have completed the previous classes while understanding their logics. Without wasting any time, let's begin. I have been modeling this house for a few weeks. I have taken a huge inspiration from a house named Slope House from 77 Studio for the main shape of the building, which I once seen in ArchDaily site. I have drawn and reimagined the house only for this course. In my version, the house has been designed for a coastal area. For that, we will be assigning brighter colors as materials. For 3D modeling, I am using a few 3D softwares together. My main workflow is usually in Blender, but Blender is more for artistic works. Blender is hard to use when working with measurements, but it is free to use software like Unreal. For that reason, it has huge amounts of plugins which can make our works easier. For this model, I have used ArchiCAD to create basic shape of the building, then used Blender to detail the model. I have separated our 3D model into 6 groups, which are house, main bathroom, private bathroom, gates, and curtains. Each separation have different reasons. Bathrooms were separated because we might disable them for performance boost in future. Gates will be used to create interactive blueprints. Grass area for having a basic collision, so when we are adding foliage, our jobs may become easier. And curtains to copy or delete any of them in the engine. To export from Blender, we can use FBX or OBJ extensions. There are other options too, but I believe FBX is the best one. After making all groups invisible, make the group we want to export visible. After selecting all visible objects, we go to File, Export, FBX file type. In the Settings panel, we change Path Mode to Copy and click the box next to it. Tick the selected objects, or you can choose Visible too. Then under Geometry, change Smoothing to Face and click on Export FBX. We do the same for all of our groups. You can find the exported files in the course folder I will be publishing later. Since this is not a Blender course, you do not have to worry about this part. I am mentioning these for you to understand the logic of separating the model into different parts. Inside Unreal, let's start by creating a new level and naming it AR ArchViz. Let's open up our new level. Now, I want this new level to open every time when I launch Unreal Engine. For this, we can go under Edit tab and select Project Settings. Select Maps and Modes, then change Editor Startup Map to our level, which was named AR ArchViz. Then we create a new folder under UAV course and we name it 3D Meshes. Then we drag and drop our AR house 1, 2, 3, and 5 3D objects into this new folder. Under Material, we do not want Unreal to create the materials for us because we will not be using them. For that reason, we change Search Location to Do Not Search, Material Import method to Do Not Create Material, and untick Import Textures. After those, under Advanced, we tick the Combine Meshes. Like this, the different models we exported under the same group will be combined together as one 3D object. And then, for doors, we create new folder as doors. In this folder, we can drag and drop to import our AR House for Gates file. During Import Options tab, untick the Combine Meshes so we can add them separately. When we are complete importing these, We do the same for curtains as well. Create new folder, then drag and drop the AR House 6 curtain. Since our importings are done, we can start adjusting our level. Let's add our environment lights first. Under Window, we can select Environment Light Mixer to add them quickly. I click all the settings except Volumetric Clouds. Now we can drag all imported models on our scene, then reset their position to world origin. Don't forget, you can keep your outliner organized. It is all up to you to organize it as you like. You can copy mine if you want, which I recommend you to do. Now, let's add our post-process volume to disable the bloom effect. After adding, search for Unbound under Details and tick the setting. Then under Bloom, decrease intensity to 0. This way, we won't be having any lens flares or bloom effects. After this, we will have lots of material assigning works to be done. As you know, material assigning is doing the similar processes over and over again. I have 4.5 hours of progress video, but I will not be showing all of it since it doesn't fit for our course's main purpose. Instead of this, I will be mentioning some highlights which I believe can be important for you too. Then you can have your own material assigning work for your own. Let's start by creating a new glass material instance and have its normal intensity to 0. This way, we can have a clear-looking glass. Then I drag this material to the windows. You can also adjust refraction value to 1. This way, our glasses shall look better on our buildings. For other materials, we have Quixel Bridge. Let's open Quixel Bridge and log in. We have lots of surface materials we can use here. I recommend you to download medium or high quality textures because if our scenes gets heavier, we might need better system requirements. From the very start, have this logic in your mind so you will have lesser problems in the future. As you can see, when you open the downloaded material instance, it comes with lots of parameters you can adjust. Here you can check which parameters changes what about the main material. I mostly use tiling offset and albedo tint options here. Tiling changes the repetition rate and albedo controls changes the material's color basically. We will be creating new materials for some purposes too. Even though these materials will be very basic, they will not look absurd. For that, in the materials folder, let's create a new folder and material. We can name them basic. Inside material blueprint, we can create parameters for base color, metallic, roughness inputs. These inputs will be enough for us to create as many materials as we need. After that, we can start creating material instances and change the parameters as we want for our purposes. I will be using these materials for clean surfaces such as kitchen furnitures, TV screen, fridge, sinks, window frames, etc. Since they are basic, they will not be heavy at all. Additionally, we will create a emissive material too. For that, create a new material again and name it emissive. Like we created in tutorial, we call an RGB color and multiply the values with one parameter. Like this, we can adjust the brightness of our color. By the way, I would like to mention about glass shadows. For some reason, the shadows of the glasses are very sharp and act like there is no opacity on our material. To fix this, we can go to Main Glass Material and under Details, search for Ray Traced Shadows. By unticking the box, it will start looking more realistic. Inside areas without natural light, I prefer to use singular light source to lighten up the room. This way, the engine will require lesser time to calculate the light, so the project will be smoother. You can add the desired light source from the Add button as you can see on the screen. Let's create a mirror material now. We will do the same thing as basic material more or less. Only difference is when material attributes node is selected, scroll down under the details until you find forward shading part. Then tick the high quality reflections and planar reflections. After this, you can drag your material onto the mirror objects. Now it is time for creating curtain materials. It is going to be so basic. In fact, you can even use a new glass material instance and change the roughness value higher for short. If you want to do it separately like me, create a new material named curtain. Change blend mode to translucent, tick two-sided. Under translucency, change lightning mode to surface forward shading and create parameters for color, roughness, and opacity entries. If you create a material instance now, you can adjust the look however you would like. You might experience a graphical problem like here. As you can see, from the other side of our glass, the curtain is not visible at all. To fix it, you can click on the post-process volume and search for translucency. Change type to ray tracing and max refraction rays to a higher value like 5 here. Now, inside bathroom, I have this carpet which I downloaded from CG Trader for free. It had its own material textures. Instead of changing it, I will show you how to bring it inside Unreal Engine. Let's go to our 3D Meshes folder and create a new folder named Imported. Then create another named Bathroom. After dragging the texture to this folder, right-click on it and create new material. Let's change its roughness value higher than save. Now we can see it by dragging the material to its object. It looks quite well. Now it is time to assign our water material to our pool. We will use the water material which we saw in ArchViz template here. I think its parameters are going to be working pretty well here in our pool. To find it, you can select the building folder, then search for water. As you can see here, there are a few options. We will create a new material instance from this bluish pond material, then drag it into our pool. After playing with the parameters, I believe these settings are working quite well for our pool. The class about jumpstarting our ArchViz animation project was like this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on the Discord server. I wish you all happy and healthy days.